And we'd like to give a special thank you to our Chancellor, Dr. Phaeton, and the Coordinator of Events, Outreach and Communications, Amelia Brzezicki, for hosting our luncheon today and doing planning. Thank you all. We also want to thank our TWU ambassador, Mr. Chad Wick, and thank our SECC partners from the United Way of Denton County. We have President and CEO Gary Henderson, Dominic Payard, and Nina Nichols Austin down here. Thank you all for coming and being So thank you all for joining us today in this luncheon. We are excited to have you to kick off this campaign with the slogan, Building the Future. So every day you're helping empower our students with an educational foundation which builds their future. And each year, TWU has further helped in building the future of our local, national, and international communities with over a decade of record-winning giving through SECC.
We would like to take this opportunity to introduce some of our amazing local nonprofit organizations that are here with us today. If you could please stand when I announce your group and remain standing. Hearts for Homes, Denton Veterans Center, United Way Denton County, CASA, Giving Hope, Friends of the Family, Special Abilities of North Texas, and Denton City County Day School. Round of applause.
It's our generous giving through TWU's SECC campaign that we can empower these nonprofits and organizations like them to build important support mechanisms for those in need here in Denton, the U.S., and abroad. We've invited these organizations to join us today so that you can talk directly to those on the front line to better understand how your giving directly impacts and helps build a future for others in our community. They have been sitting with you during the meal, and they'll be staying for a short time after the luncheon at the booths over here and to answer any of your questions. So their work is invaluable in building a better future for us all, and we really appreciate your attendance. Thank you. At this time, we'd like to welcome to the podium someone who needs no introduction, as you see her out there leading the initiatives to build a better university and a community. Please welcome our SECC champion, TWU Chancellor and President, Dr. Kareem Phaeton.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you everyone for being here. So there's such great energy in this room. This is really amazing, and we sold out the room really quick, so thank you to all of you for that, for your generosity. So to thank you for your support, I have a little surprise for you today. Some of you may have heard that we have been working with a local legend, that is Beth Marie Old-Fashioned Ice Cream, to create a flavor that is unique to TWU. So I am proud to, right now, unveil, to thank you. You will be the first audience to try our new ice cream, Pioneer Palm. And it's coming out. POM stands for pomegranate. We needed to get that right color. Anyway, at Texas Women's, we are really proud of being so invested in this particular campaign. And I'm really proud of our conviction to really make a difference in people in our communities. So if you attended this fall's fall assembly that we had in the beginning of the year, you might remember that I used a quote from Simon Sinek where I said, where he says actually, there are leaders and there are those who lead. Leaders hold a position of power and those who lead inspire us. And I think this is a really perfect opportunity here with the SECC because it's another really good example of being able to lead whether or not you occupy a position of power. So every one of you leads in your areas, every one of you leads in your particular disciplines. And in this particular instance, we lead to help the community. And I think that is a really important aspect of what we do. And this is something that we do really well at TWU. We may not be the biggest flagship or the largest university in the state, but our light shines really bright when it comes to truly transforming lives. We often talk about transforming the lives of our students, but this is also a demonstration of how we transform the lives of the people in our communities. So I want to thank you for that, because I think it shows consistency in our values and what we believe and how we act. And that's how people judge people, is by how consistent you are with your words. And in this particular instance, I think our acts, our behavior demonstrates our truth to our values of caring for the community and being the campus with a heart. So thank you for that. And consistently with that, we have been winning the awards, and you will be hearing more about that, among the universities in Texas. So we really are an example of leading, even though we're not in a position of power necessarily. So I'm going to keep this really short because I want to give the time to our speaker here, but I wanted to thank all of you personally, from the bottom of my heart, for your generosity, for what we do for the students, but for what you do for our community. And if you look at the SECC form and you see the amount of needs that are out there in the community, it's really amazing. And I think in this time and age where there's so much chaos outside, these needs are greater and greater. And so having a community like the TWU community that's really focused on transforming lives and doing good for other people gives you a sense of community that's really rewarding. And I want to thank you for that, because it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for me to be part of that community. And I don't think every president can say that. So thank you for that, for making my job so special. So right now, I would like to introduce to you our special guest, Miss Pat Sherman. Pat is the Vice President for Community Relations at That Cool Credit Union, and she's also a leader in our community. She serves on the boards of United Way of Denton County, the Denton Chamber of Commerce, and CASA Denton County. This past May, she was recognized by the Denton Chamber for her amazing work, receiving the Volunteer of the Year Award. And when we talk about those who lead and the impact that they have on other people, I think we really talk about people just like Pat. You lead and inspire others to act, so thank you for that. So please join me in welcoming Pat Sherman. And I have to tell you another little silly anecdote. You know what I'm going to say, right? So for those of you who know Pat, whenever she shows up in any public venue, she's wearing That Cool colors. And That Cool colors are bright green. Okay? So I thought it was particularly thoughtful of her to be sensitive to our colors. So thank you for that.
What a pleasure to be with you all today. Now, I wonder if any of you here have ever lost a child or lost track of a child in a crowd. Well, I have, and I did. It was about 3 years ago when my grandson Micah was 4 years old, and we went to a Ranger game. It was terrifying, but thankfully, an impromptu rescue team of sorts formed. Of course, his parents and grandparents who decided who's going to go and look which direction, but also the couple who first noticed a little boy with tears streaming down his face, searching for a familiar face. They, along with a security guard on a walkie-talkie, were surrounding him when I finally spotted them in the midst of a very large crowd. It was a horrifying half hour or so, but somehow it ended happily, and we were able to enjoy our dollar hot dogs and a Ranger win that night. I wish it had been just that easy to find baby Danetta, but she didn't know that she was lost. When she was only 10 days old, Cherie, the program director at CASA of Denton County, was reading some reports of children who had recently been removed from their home because of abuse or neglect. She was reading a case about a 15-year-old girl whose mother was selling her daughter by the hour. And Cherie also noticed references to another child in the home, an infant. Well, she shared her concern with the Sheriff's Department, and they immediately agreed to join Baby Danetta's rescue team and to try to help find her. They sent a team of investigators the next day out to the neighborhood in another part of Denton County to try to find the baby. It was a long and very frustrating, very hot day earlier this summer, and at the end of that day, they were just about to leave empty-handed when finally one of the neighbors gave them a tip about just how the mother and the baby were escaping and eluding their search throughout the day. Well, armed with that information, the investigators, Baby Danetta's rescue team, quickly found her. She was 11 days old. She had never been seen by a doctor. She was suffering from drug addiction, as well as a staph infection that covered most of her body and that put her in ICU for several days. Now, while she was in the hospital, Cherie from CASA visited her often, while also using her resources at CASA to find foster parents who agreed to take the baby home when she was released from the hospital. Addiction withdrawal and staph infection and all, they took her home. Well, I am delighted to tell you today that baby Danetta is 4 months old. She's healthy, she's happy, in a home with parents and a big brother and sister who are 3 and 5 years old. They all love her and are currently working on plans to adopt her and become her forever family. But until that time, Danetta also has a court-appointed special advocate. That's what we call a CASA, who will visit her often and get to know her needs so that they can advocate with the judge for her. Now, our judges in Denton County highly value the recommendations from these volunteers who are specially trained by CASA of Denton County because they know what a difference these advocates can make in the direction and the very future of each of these children who really just need a chance and someone to care about them and to advocate for their best. Now, many of you, if you've been in Denton County very long, you know that we're in the middle of a population explosion. In fact, just since 2010, the population in Denton County has increased by 29.7%. Wow. There's 30% more people in our county now than there were 9 years ago. What you may not know, though, is that the percentage of children removed from their homes because of abuse or neglect has increased by 60% in that same period of time. In fact, just last year, in 2018, 867 children in Denton County were removed from their home for their safety. Now, unfortunately, as a nonprofit, CASA and the other agencies who serve don't get an automatic increase in funding to keep up with that kind of growth. But thankfully, CASA is part of a network of partner agencies of United Way of Denton County, who is the backbone of our nonprofit community. Now, maybe you actually never have given to or known about the State Employee Charitable Campaign, but when you do give to State Employee Charitable Campaign, you choose to join a big team of helpers across our nation and across our state and in our community. I hope that you will consider giving your dollars locally because the need here is so great and it's growing and it's all around us. Your donation can help lost and abused children, but it can also feed or provide housing to someone experiencing homelessness, or it may provide resources and services to a struggling veteran, or it also can help provide health care or mental health services to someone who has none. You can choose to support a specific agency, or you can just give to United Way of Denton County, which looks at the big picture about how all these issues and others are interconnected. You see, our dollars, especially those that are given locally, actually become an investment in our neighbors. I encourage you to join your TWU team of coworkers who utilize payroll deduction to take just a little bit out of each paycheck, but when added together, becomes enough to make a significant difference in our community. And if you already participate, will you think today about maybe giving a little bit more this year? Maybe you've never lost a child in a crowd, but you or someone you know may have experienced a different kind of loss, perhaps of a job and the benefits that come with that. Or maybe you've lost a home, a place to live, or a car, or any means of transportation. Or perhaps an even greater and more profound loss of dignity or of hope. It's in situations like these that nonprofits like the agencies represented here truly are a rescue team, offering services and help that can become a lifeline. You may not have ever needed to utilize the services of these agencies, but you or someone you know, it's possible that you may be next. I encourage you today to join the Texas Women's University family so that your dollars can help build a bigger and greater rescue team that can change lives. And together, we can build a better Denton County for everyone. Thanks.
Thank you, Pat, for that very inspirational message. We very much appreciate you being here with us today. Now I would like to welcome to our podium our SECC partner, President and CEO of the United Way of Denton County, Mr. Gary Henderson, with a special announcement.
David, stay up here. Dr. Faden, come to the stage. The SECC leadership team. I said, who do I present these to? He said, you pick. I pick everybody. It'll make for a great photo. So this first award, these two awards together really speak to how awesome you guys make this campaign. The men and women of TWU, you are not paralleled across the state. And when we think about fundraising, there are generally two metrics that really tell us how many people we're going to get to help. This first metric is level of participation. So for universities, state institutions of 2,000 employees or more, anyone have a guess which institution had the highest level of participation in 2018? Anyone? Yeah. So 2018, greatest participation. We're going to let the boss hold this one. But that's not all. And the second one is super sweet because Nora was so unhappy last year when there was only one award to present. Since 1993, this award has always come home to Texas Women's University, except for last year. There was a university somewhere out in Lubbock, and by the way, United Way of Denton County, we love Lubbock. We took a trip to Lubbock. That United Way out there is outstanding. We stole 5 or 6 great strategies from them. They run the SECC campaign in their region. We didn't talk about this. It did not come up in conversation. This year, returning home to Texas Women's University, institutions 2001 or more employees, the largest per capita giving, who? Texas Women's University. We're going to give this one to Nora so she'll smile. Nora, smile.
she worked so hard every year for all those 20 years. So as many of you know, Dr. Betty Myers was one of TW's biggest SEC champions for many years. And she donated what we affectionately refer to as her birthday money in a challenge each year to encourage TW participation in the SECC campaign. And we owe a lot of credit to her to motivate and incentivize us all to win these kind of awards with our generosity and really make a difference. So, in memory of Dr. Myers, this year we are continuing a form of her challenge. As previously shared, this year's SECC committee created a sliding scale to encourage participation and ensure the ability of components to hopefully get high participation and qualify for an award drawing. So far, and we're just barely started, October is the official month of SECC, and so far we've already collected over $45,000 in pledges. So we're halfway there. So we have an amazing start to the campaign, but we still have a lot out there to keep getting in. So torchbearers, everybody else, encourage that participation. Now we will get to the drawings. We have some awards to give out. First, we will be drawing an academic component who met the participation criteria already. And this academic component will receive a $1,000 scholarship courtesy of TW Scholarship Program. Special thanks to Lisa Quinones for sourcing the scholarship for the challenge. So, Dr. Phaeton, would you do the honors and draw So these are all the academic departments that had met the cutoff for participation already. Music is the winner of the scholarship. Next, we'll draw a name of an eligible non-academic component, and they get a chicken and waffle or pizza party catered by Chartwell's. And this party is being sponsored by the Chancellor's office. Thank you very much, Dr. Phaeton, for helping continue in the spirit of Dr. Myers' challenge this year. So, sorry to get you up again. We'll go ahead and let you draw this one as well. HR, Human Resource wins that. Congratulations to those departments and also to all the other departments. Looks like we had a lot in the drawings, so thank you all so much for helping get that participation. Turn it over to Scott.
We couldn't have gotten off to such a great fundraising start without y'all's participation. So remember, this is only the beginning. We have an exciting month of activities coming up. We hope you'll join us next Friday at noon, rather than on a Saturday when nobody wants to come. When we'll have a 1K and 5K fun run or walk planned in collaboration with this year's Campus Challenge. Happens to be that all the faculty, staff, and students are going to be participating this year together. We are currently in the lead of all the universities participating in the Campus Challenge, and we want to stay that way. So, this fun run is going to be one of the last activities of the Campus Challenge period, and so this is an opportunity for you not only to gain points towards the Campus Challenge, but you can also help out our SECC campaign and the charities by collecting pledges for participating in the event. All the collected pledges will be donated directly to our SECC campaign, and any individual who collects at least $10 in pledges will be entered into a drawing for a JBL Flip 5 portable speaker donated by Fit and Rec. It's about a $100 value. Additionally, faculty and staff can receive an extra 30 minutes during their lunch break as part of a university-sponsored well-being time. Just have to have your supervisor's approval. Please visit our TWSECC website for details if you haven't already. And you can also grab a pledge form on your way out the door. We put them on the table out there. Following that, we'll have our Tribalathon on Tuesday, October 15th at 11:30 a.m. And then the chili cook-off, dessert bake-off, and bake basket auction, on Tuesday, October 29th at 11:30 a.m. again. Both of these will occur in the Kitty McGee Arena. Please join us for as many events as you can. We need each of you, from chili cooks to dodgeball players, dessert specialists to basket designers. We have a role for each and every one of you. So our TWSECC webpage has all the details on each event and links to online registration. So we look forward to seeing you at our upcoming events.
All right, I want to give a big thank you to Sandy Walker and her committee for the beautiful decorations that you all have in the middle of your table. If any of you would like to purchase the centerpiece, it's $20. The buckets are $5, and if you'd like to have the whole thing, it's $40. I take cash or checks. You can find me for the money.
So thank you all very much once more for being here at the luncheon to kick off this SECC campaign. Thank you to Pat Sherman for being here and giving us such an inspirational message today, to the United Way and our other nonprofit local guests. We really appreciate you being here and partnering with us and being a part of this. And thank you all for participating in the Betty Myers Challenge. And finally, thank you for being a part of the Building the Future SECC campaign here at Texas Woman's. We want to keep the giving going. We want to keep making a difference in our community, which we've done for so long. And we really appreciate you all and hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you.
That our nonprofit organizations will stick around for a little while. If you would like to ask them any questions about the amazing work that they do in our community, they'll be over here to the side.
services to them. We'll continue doing so until they have as
nice to meet you. We're a very small office with a lot of work to do.
Okay. Perfect, thank you.
So we blended in almost 4 years.
So how long have you been here?
6 years here and 15 years across town. I've got rid of all my green shirts.
That's fair. It's been going on for a year or so. Yeah. I'm actually coming on Monday.
It's great. And I think it's like we've been here. Awesome. So tell me your